All right, here we go again. We're getting ready to do a few things. First, we're going to do the siphon tube. Has a little bit of buildup on it, so we're going to clean that up with today some citric acid. This is a big old bag. I don't know what they were, not much money. You just got to be a little careful with it. Not too much. A little spoonful. Stir it up. Anyway, you can do a lot of cleaning. Just don't get the stuff on everything. Okay, we'll keep going. So we got a little citric acid in there. We stirred it up. We'll get that soaking. That's going to be epic. And then we have our old gasket. Tucks in. There's a little tuck in right there. Now, if this was really old, that thing could be a little process to get out. You just got to soak, get a little X-Acto knife maybe, and just work it out because they can be really in there, especially on the old cap. This one, I believe I replaced at one time, so it's been pretty easy. I just get a little flathead and kind of, I first did X-Acto, but once you can get just under a part of it, it usually comes out pretty good. So let's see what will happen for us here. There we go. See, that was lucky. That's not how it usually goes. But there's the old gasket. You just got to replace it. Gets that little rim from the boiler. It's hard to seal. You know, a couple times when they came out whole, I flipped them over, but that's cheating. You gotta, if you have one, but anyway, that's it. And then we have our new one here. I happen to have one. I gotta try to get some more of these. The trick is there's a little tiny rim right there. You gotta put that under. I haven't done one in a little while, so let's just see how this is gonna go. You kind of work your way around, because since there's that little rim, you're gonna end up with this little nub right there that's going to freak you out because you're going to go, oh, it doesn't fit. But it really does because it slips right under that lip a little bit. And as you come to the end, it will go in. It kind of is a little worrisome, but yeah, there it goes. See? It does go in. So you'll get that little lip and then it tucks in. It tucks in. There's a little tiny lip under there. And it tucks in. So that went good. Now, usually in the really old ones, this gasket's going to be corroded. You just got to soak, scrape and soak, you know, however you can do it. People use all kinds of stuffed Dremels. I use a little X-Acto knife. I try to get right under it. And if you can get a piece up with that, it makes it easier. But a lot of times this is so corroded, it's just going to kind of come out in layers or have a little bit left that you're just going to have to work at. Maybe even with a flathead screwdriver. Just try not to be too brutal on that. But all right, that went really good. We got the base drying out there right now. The color came out good. The surface came out pretty good. I didn't want to go to too much length on it, but it really came out good. This is looking great. We have that done. That is soaking. And I'm going to pop this apart while we get ready for that because we might as well do some new gaskets too. This had the La Pavone. I usually don't save these. A lot of people try to get this little one out and save it, but I like new gaskets. I'm a firm believer in new gaskets. If you can do it. Some people like to save, and that works out too. I've done that, but give me a new gasket every time. Let's pull that baby out of there. There we go. See? Yeah. The truth is told. Yeah, that's a little gnarly. So we'll clean that up too. That's the nice La Pavone one. So I did that at once. And there's the plunger. Or that piston. It's in there. It's pretty. This baby went for a while. I wonder if we can just pop that out. I bet we can. Let's see. There we go. Sometimes they're a little Let's apply force, and voila! There she is. Oh yes, we're going to redo it anyway. That needs a little cleaning, huh? That's the way it goes. We got everything else out. We'll pop that little clip out. Sometimes I can use just the needle nose, but they can be aggravating when you want to put something back in, but every now and then you can get that out with these, though not necessarily every time. So we'll probably use the other one. See, they can be aggravating to get that thing out. Yeah, so the little tool made to get those out is much easier to do. And pop. So there that goes. Excellent. We're going to be redoing those. But this little one right here, it's a little dark today, takes the old gasket out nice. All right, we're all ready to go. We'll clean these up a little bit in the bowl. A little of the cleaner. Any type you like. I have this one. I like it. You know, there's a lot of them. I don't really endorse one or the other, but this one I've always used. It works good. There's all kind of like the citric acid. There's all kinds of stuff you can get for that. Same thing. Just be careful with it. Just use a little bit and watch it and check it for about 30 minutes and see how it goes. And that's about it. So we're going to go work on the base now. We're almost there. It's looking really good. I got most of the other stuff all prepared, so let's go. All right, we're going to put the base on now. We got the ring. We came out with a good paint job. It's looking really good. A little protective cloth there, just in case. Get a little wild. Gonna cause a couple problems. We're gonna, yeah, that's lined up good. So let's go ahead and tighten this thing down. We'll do it by hand. So I kind of go backwards just so I can feel it clicking, right? And then I go the other way. There you go, and then you got a good thread. No cross threading. I really don't like cross threading, but we'll get that. There we go. It's sliding. See, it has that little tight point, but it's going back on. I get it down pretty far by hand, at least till it gets a little firmer there. And see, there's that tight spot. Unless you might have one of those if you do an older machine, so don't always worry about that little tight spot there. You'll get by it. So we'll use the homemade tool here now. This helps you by hand too. It just won't really get you completely tight where the base doesn't move, but it does pretty good. So we'll see how that goes? Yeah, it works good like that. It's a little hard with this one, but I have used it to tighten things way down, but it's not perfect for that, but it does work for loosening and getting things back on pretty well for a couple bucks. We'll get that as firm as we can with that. There we go. Still pretty straight. I always worry about that. You get it all done, it's just a tiny bit off, but let's double check. Yeah, that looks good. Pretty good eyeballing. A little protective there. And we'll see if we can get a little more. We might be at the last point with this thing, so it just may be time to go ahead and use the other one now, and we'll get the Big Daddy. This is the big metal one that I used on the aftermarket ring, but this will work on these too. Just kind of rests right next to them, but it does work pretty good. Sometimes you can just use a regular socket, but I don't think this is going to have the tweak, you know. It just doesn't have the torque you need to really get something really tight. So we'll get out the Big Daddy. And this is probably the only thing I use it for pretty much, but it's well worth it if you're ever going to do one of these, because you can tighten that thing down and hopefully your base won't move later on like they do. Let's get that ready, tight. Watch. Yeah, you can just And you can torque with that thing. I almost worry it's too much, but it's pretty nice. You can really get that thing tight. The base isn't moving. We're looking really good. We got a pretty good spin there. See if we can get a little more. Yeah. We're getting it tight this time. Base hasn't moved. We're having a really good run now. Let's go one more bit. Yeah, there we are. That's a good one right there. Okay, so let's switch it around. Is it still straight? Yep, it's hanging in there a little. Well, maybe. No, it's straight as it can get. So here we go. We're going to give this one more. We're going to see if we can get our super tight one on here. And maybe it'll never move, but whatever happens goes. We got that in there. Here we go. There we are. Look at that. That's the way to do it. The last, I mean, that thing is on there good. I think that's about it. So we have done it. Put that off. There we go. That's the two. You know, one was $100 and something bucks. One was like $6. But anyway, there we are. I think we got a nice tight fit on there, and we're going to go ahead and take these off. Our number 10s. I have the little rubber washers just so it has a little movement, so it keeps you from bending your boiler when you really tweak that down like I do. But it's really good there. We'll loosen these. Come on, Stevie. There you go. Now you got it going. I'll show you. It does take a little bit sometimes, but that's how you just do them. And the base came out good. It's a tiny bit different color, but a nicer seafoam turquoise that Uta picked out. So it really came out good. And that's an old base, so it had a little bit on there, but I think it came out good anyhow. Voila! Now we're going to go inside and let's just finish this one up. Yeah, she came out really good. And let's go ahead and put our heating element on. That looks like a good way to do it, so let's go ahead and do this, baby. We got our gasket in there. It's really seated well. There we go. These used a little longer. The brass one uses a little longer screw than the other ones. Just something to keep in mind if you're switching out or anything like that. I got it pretty tight on that ring. If it moves later, well, that's the way it's going to be. I'm just going to bring these down just barely snug. And we'll do we'll spin around, but yeah, it's really going good. We'll see if we have this. I think we may have this run this show, in fact. Base came out pretty good, not exactly how I wanted, but came out really good. I like the color. I forgot this base had a lot of flaws in it and things, but it came out really good. It's nice to clean it up again, and it's a tiny bit different color than it was before. I may go over this with an Allen wrench too, but we'll do our water test just in case. There she is, all done, all redone. The base came out great. A little different color matching. Skateboard Creation handles. This one has the really nice portafilter. Cafe Latte bottomless. That goes in. This is one of my very first art machines. Really came out good. Let's whip her around for you. We did the white. I don't have many with the white, but it looks kind of neat with this machine. And all the stuff came out good. And yep, it does have a matching tamper too. So that's pretty darn neat. Yeah, it came out really nice. And it's just a little rebuild in between ordering and our next big machine project. And the only note was I had that was left over, but then later I remembered it was in there. I had two of them because this one I lost and I had an extra, but that was almost something. And I left the siphon tube off and had to put that on, but that was the only trouble. And pretty lined up. I almost feel it's tiny bit off, but it came out really good in the base. And so this art machine is back in, and this is my very first kind of fully functional art piece like I like to do. And yeah, there it is. Came out really good. So we're still doing the ordering on the real project, so that's coming along. This is here, and you need to subscribe and do your comment and like, because I have the contest coming up, and we're getting a big load of coffee. We were talking about it, and we ran into the lady with the coffee farm. That's Miles. He's announcing somebody's home, but anyway, that's the way it is in the neighborhood. But yeah, so that contest, go ahead, subscribe and like. We're going to have some really fun stuff. We just did this one, super fun, and next show we're going to make some coffees with it, and there's some magic that it does too that nobody knows but me. But anyway, there she's back, and we'll make a coffee. It's on the next show, and we'll have a big update on the thing, and just, subscribe up, and yeah, there she is. She really came out nice, back in action, and it's a whole ensemble. I really like this. Came out good, but that's from the skateboard creation guy in Munich. He does all kinds of stuff, but yeah, look how good these came out. Recycled skateboard. Couldn't be better. Emblem glued on this one. And fully functional. Look, that came off a different machine, but I liked it. It was around. It was one of those Gaussian machines, have those. Then I gave up to my daughter Kaylee in Alaska, but I put this the regular nut because I wanted the round one. So I kind of got her round nut. But anyway, there it is. It really is good. So when she heats up, I had a little leaking problem with that heating element just one time, but then I just tightened it up a little more, and there she went. So really uneventful, and we'll check that one more time. And excellent as can be.